What happened in Irish nursing homes? By April 2020, we were all aware that the lockdowns and restrictions were in place to protect the very elderly and the immune-compromised from COVID-19. Everyone else had a 99.7% survival rate. We all wanted to protect our loved ones, so we put on our masks and isolated. We shut down our businesses and we postponed our weddings. We closed our schools and our churches. We obeyed all the rules and we attacked anyone who dared to voice concerns. We became exemplary COVID citizens.
But while Irish citizens were making huge sacrifices to stay safe, the government made the decision to move hundreds of elderly patients into nursing homes, untested, untreated, alone. This decision led to thousands of needless deaths of the very people we locked down to protect. These deaths should have outraged every one of us, but instead, how did we react to this news? We went along with the government narrative that it was an unfortunate mistake and that we must unite and trust the science and continue to do our bit to protect the vulnerable. But in truth, who or what were we protecting? Our jobs, our reputations, our relationships, or simply our belief systems? From May to December 2020, outbreaks continued in our nursing homes, yet death rates returned to average. Until January and February 2021, when, despite the reintroduction of lockdowns in October 2020, despite the increase in visitor restrictions and staff in full PPE, despite the constant invasive testing, despite evidence that subsequent outbreaks were not leading to excess deaths, and despite friends pleading with us to question what was happening, despite everything, this is what happened in January 2021. The only new variable we could identify from January 2021 was the arrival of the miracle vaccine. At which point our loved ones celebrated the hope of an end to their isolation. And even though we were openly advised that the vaccine was still in clinical trial, and we were told that it was a brand new technology, and we knew that it was rushed to market, we abandoned all caution and critical thinking and chose to once again trust the government and trust the science. Only to see this happen. A sample of 60 worst hit Irish nursing homes had a threefold increase, 426% in deaths directly after the vaccine rollout. In March 2021, Health Freedom Ireland reported this spike in deaths to the government, the HSE and HPRA and the mainstream media. They did nothing. And in ignoring this signal of concern, the vaccine was rolled out to the rest of the population, including our precious children. The government blamed the excess deaths on outbreaks. But as previously noted, nursing home restrictions were at their most severe at this time and outbreaks were ongoing. So how could this explain such a huge increase in deaths across the country in such a short time? How did some homes have outbreaks but zero deaths, while others lost so many? Were different protocols being used in different homes? Why were our concerns dismissed? We owe it to our loved ones to find out the truth behind their deaths. We owe it to our elderly to ensure they are being properly cared for. We owe it to those who lost their chance to live due to restrictions. We owe it to those who lost their will to live due to lockdowns. We owe it to our children to acknowledge the sacrifices they have made and the serious harm that has been caused to them. What we do know, if lockdowns, isolation, testing and vaccines could not and did not prevent excess deaths in those we locked down to protect, then we have a moral obligation to acknowledge that the government measures have caused tremendous harm and ensure that it never happens again. As of March 15th, 2022, a total of 19,869 reports of suspected side effects from COVID-19 vaccines were notified to the HPRA, including 110 deaths. According to the HSE, up to 99% of suspected side effects are unreported. The following are just some of the side effects being reported. If you or a loved one has had a suspected side effect from a COVID-19 vaccine, it is very important that you report it to the HPRA and/or notify your GP in writing. You will find links to the necessary reporting forms along with the information and additional steps you can take on www.healthfreedomireland.com/nursing home scandal. Each one of us has the power and the moral obligation to seek the full truth and say, never again, not in my name.